Let's talk free agency here on Dallas Mavericks today. How about signing Kyle Lowry, the longtime Toronto Raptors guard? I'm intrigued. I've seen some, I'll put reports in air quotes a little bit there. I haven't seen, Adrian Wojnarowski report this, that there's major interest. But some of the smaller sites and blogs out there have said that there is some interest from Dallas' side of view to go out and sign Kyle Lowry. He is a free agent this offseason. I think he's open to the idea of returning to Toronto, but he certainly understands that the Raptors are not necessarily in win-now mode, whereas at this point in his career, he's 35 years old, he was linked to trade rumors at the NBA trade deadline. He's probably wanting to chase a championship or two toward the end of his career. The good news here, too, for Dallas' side is Kyle Lowry can still ball. He can play at a very, very high level. I think there were a couple of teams that made a mistake at the trade deadline by not trading for him. One, Los Angeles Lakers. I think there's some big regret there to not go out and get Kyle Lowry before the deadline. But you see at what he did this year. I mean, 17 points, 7 assists, still 44% from the floor, 40% from three. Like, this is still a really good player that can be a contributing piece on a championship level team. Now, obviously, he's not going to be a number one, probably not even a number two, but a high level number three that can be a difference maker in a playoff series, absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt about that when it comes to Kyle Lowry at this point in his career. We'll discuss more in just a moment, but first, should the Mavs sign him? Simple as that. Type S for sign Kyle Lowry, type P for pass on Kyle Lowry. I think they should. I'll give more reasons in a second why I think they should. Obviously, money factors in here, but if you can get him on a very, reasonable 2-year deal, I think that's a win-win for everybody. I think a main reason why you should look at this if you're Dallas is you've got Luka Doncic, and his what's the term here? His player usage rating, that's the term I use for, is incredibly high. What does that mean? He always has the ball in his hands when he's playing, and that's when he's at his best. I get that, but he needs more help. Jalen Brunson and Trey Burke are really your only other guards that can create on this roster. I didn't include Tim Hardaway because he's a free agent. We don't know for sure if he'll be back. Obviously, he can create a little bit as well, but even with Timmy, you don't have a ton of major creativity, ball handling ability there with Tim Hardaway. He's much more a catch-and-shoot type of guy, whereas Lowry, he can run the offense. He can be a creator as a passer and as a scorer. He can ISO as well. So you get a guy like him in here as a secondary ball handler who can also play off guard and shoot the three ball very well. I think that's a very nice playmaker next to Luka Doncic, and you need more playmakers next to Luka. Otherwise, he's just going to burn out toward the end of these seasons, a la James Harden with the Houston Rockets. Get subscribed to Dallas Mavericks today because we are pumping out more videos now that the offseason is upon us. The drama is hot and heavy right now in Dallas, so click that link below, youtube.com/MavsTV. Spread the word, and let's get more subscribers on this channel because, hey, boss has told me, you get more subs, we'll do more videos here on Dallas Mavericks today. So let's grow it together, and we'll continue to keep you guys up to date with the latest surrounding the Mavericks. More free agency. We'll talk about Jarrett Allen next. Saw Hoops Hype throw this idea out there that, the Mavs could be interested in that he could be a player that fits what they're trying to do. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I like Jarrett Allen. He's a young player that can really block shots. He can rebound. He can score around the basket as well. He's got that decent mid-range game, and I thought a trade to the Cavaliers actually really helped him because he was able to get some more playing time on a team that wasn't necessarily contending. 13 points, 10 rebounds a year ago, 1.5 blocks per game, 62% from the floor. He's always been a highly efficient player, and what I like about Allen quite a bit is he knows what his role is, right? He knows what type of player he is. He's not going to go Andre Drummond on you and just randomly take a step-back three. This is a good, young, two-way big, athletic player that can, again, block shots at the rim. He's a good rim roller as well. And I think it'll be interesting to see what his market is because he is a restricted free agent. So if you're going to go make an offer, it's got to be enough where Cleveland's not going to match as well. And with that being a young team, they might just go ahead and match for their young center. Now, you look at the Mavs front court here. These are guys under contract. Boban's a free agent, for example. You've got Maxi Kleber, who's kind of a 4-5 hybrid. KP plays the 4 and 5. You got Dwight Powell, who's a 4 or 5 hybrid as well. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's got a team option. We'll see if the Mavs exercise that or not. Obviously, the big question mark here is we still just don't know what Kristaps Porzingis' future looks like. Obviously, if you trade him, you need to get another big here to help replace some minutes there, and a guy like Jarrett Allen could make some sense at the right price tag. I'll be very curious to see what he gets. I feel like he could get anywhere from like 12 to 18 million per year. It would not surprise me if some young team looking to add a good player threw him like 3 years and 55 million. That would not shock me at all. So what do you guys think? Should the Mavs go out and sign Jarrett Allen? Type Y for yes, type N for no. This is the ultimate price comes into play type of question here. Like, if it's like, oh, he's going to cost $20 million a year, it's like, no, I'm not going to pay Jarrett Allen 3 years and $60 million. But can I get him for like 3 years and $42 million, 14 per? Maybe that's something I'd be interested in. Comes down to price for me. So get your votes in, Y for yes or N for no. I want to remind you guys that the NEWSBREAK app is today's sponsor, and hey, I encourage you guys to go download it because you can keep up with local news, politics, weather, sports, and other news articles as well. Keep up with everything going on in your community. The NEWSBREAK app syncs up with your zip code, and it just aggregates all the storylines in your neighborhoods all onto one feed. And we have a competition here at Chat Sports. Told you about this yesterday. Which channel can get the most downloads this month? Well, so help us out. You MFFLs, use that link below, chatsports.com/MavsNB. You see what all this app offers for you guys on screen right now. I love the app. I don't need to go Google 20 different websites to find my news and sports information. It's all aggregated onto one feed with NEWSBREAK. Luka Doncic, we'll talk about him next. Is the Supermax coming? Well, yeah, it certainly looks like that's going to be the case. He was named first-team All-NBA on Tuesday, which means he is now officially eligible for the Supermax extension, which is going to be 5 years and over $200 million. Pretty impressive that a guy's been in the NBA for 3 years and he's been first-team All-NBA twice. Like, that's pretty hard to do for anyone, much less a young player that didn't even play college ball in the U.S. He was too busy winning EuroLeague championships in Europe, obviously. The first-team All-NBA was Steph Curry, Luka, Kawhi, Giannis, and Nikola Jokic. Second and third teams were actually pretty loaded, too. Stiff competition this year. Maybe you could have convinced me that Chris Paul deserved to be first team, but I certainly think Luka Doncic was certainly very, very worthy. The guy's a total beast, played really well in the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, you just got to get him help. The good news is he's not going to pass up the Supermax contract, and we'll show you guys in just a little bit what that will look like, but he will sign that. You can book that in the month of May. Is Luka Doncic a top 5 NBA player? First team All-NBA would suggest he is. Type 5 for yes, type 0 for no. Let me know what you guys think. Is Luka a top 5 player in the NBA? I think he is. I think the NBA is loaded with talent right now. You could certainly talk a couple of other guys into that top 5, but I think Luka's right there, so I'm going to type my 5 for yes. Now, assuming he does sign the Supermax, this is what it'll be, and it'll kick in for that 2022-2023 season. And that first year, he'll make just under $35 million. Then it goes up every year: 37, 40, 43, 45.9 in 2026-27 there. Now, that last year, I put an asterisk there because I think there's a pretty reasonable chance to think that the final year of that Supermax will be a player option. That's what most players want when they sign these extensions, so keep that in mind as well. But just to reiterate the point, I know there's a lot of drama with this front office right now. Donnie Nelson's out. We'll see what happens long-term with Rick Carlisle if he's going to be here. I think he'll be back this year, but that could certainly change. We'll have to wait and see. All I know is Luka Doncic isn't passing up 5 years and $201.5 million. He will sign that contract, but that's when the clock starts ticking, though. The second he signs that, you really got to ramp up your free agency and draft and trades and all that stuff and try to figure out how you can build around this guy. Before we sign off, name a player that the Mavs should sign or trade for this off-season. Talked about a couple of names on today's show. There's certainly more names out there as well. Let me know what you guys think, and we will see you next time here on Dallas Mavericks Today.